All right. And now the second ritual. On March 11th, 2011, in Fukushima, Japan, you have the sunrise locally at 6:01 in the morning in Aquarius, which is established law, um, established air, which is regular breathing, um, in and out motion, normal routine. This is fixed law. Yeah, fixed law. Your fixed routines of the day. Um, and the trine for the day is first we're going to fifth house, Gemini, which is its creation. The first house always has its first creation in the fifth house, and then its perspective or its philosophy to do so in the ninth house. And its creation is going to be something that is of Ketu because it's 1 to 5. And so it's Gemini. And then even though ninth house is empty, it is uh, it is the balance of understanding between what it is going to create. It is the cardinal law, which is establishing. This is the energy that we can always use to establish something new once we first create it, and then we can look back on it and figure out basically what it was. That's how this works. This happens every time this comes across. This is the energy, but this is what they're going to use because we don't know the zodiac. So the sun is going to rise with a 15-degree cover of light. One, two, three, this far out, and then in one direction, and then a 15-degree, one, two, three, cover of light in this direction. This is the sun's brightness. Even though the point is right here, the sun as a physical object is this bright. And in Vedic astrology, that's how this works. Whereas in Babylonian astrology, it's different. It covers a lot more than 30 degrees, but in Vedic they cover as 30. And anything within that envelope is considered combust. So you have Mars here, which is going to be combust. That's our drive. That's our inner uh, thinking to do something for the day. Our reason, our purpose for the day is this um, aspect is of Mars, but it's overshadowed by the sun's light. It is overwhelmed. Same thing with down here when Mercury comes into play, as well as Uranus. Mercury is, even though it's more comfortable being around the sun all the time. That's why a lot of these events are going to happen in the morning because Mercury is always close to the sun. But uh, still, our sensitivity to this, to our exposure and sensitivity to this event is going to be um, lessened because it is in the 15-degree overwhelming of the sun's light. Plus, it's in water, so it's almost like it's buried or it's submerged underwater. So it's going to be out of sight. Just a heads up for what's going to come up next. So this fixed air is also going to be can also be considered as several other things. For instance, as you are calm and breathing and you face the sun, you can visualize with your eyes closed the brightness of the sun. You can see this redness in the back of your eyelids, and that's basically the blood and the color of your skin uh, lightened by the sun. So this is also excited air. That's normal sunlight. That's what this represents, as well as other things like the DNA strands. But these two squiggly lines, that's why he's the teacher, because he can do this is set lots of different meanings. It's the two streams of water that come out uh, from the Egyptian Dendera stone zodiac, or as a single stream, with the two lines being the boundary of the single stream of the water coming out and pouring into our consciousness, into our souls as knowledge. That's what Aquarius represents. So it's all different factors. And so now let's go into the next slide, which is 630. That's when the ascendant crosses over Mercury. So this is when the excitement of the air goes into the body of water, which is the nuclear energy, which is invisible excited air going into the oceanic waters. This is at the actual event of Fukushima, because I cannot find an actual time for this event, only the date, whereas I believe it happened locally at this time. And now the original fifth house Gemini has gone into the fourth house of challenge, where you cannot see this. We in the as the audience of the media have never didn't see any actual events of this take place. It was all just the image of the plant, and and uh, and it's just what the image shows us. We cannot see the actual event. So this is our first challenge. Okay, and this is Ketu. We are separated by it. Whereas we are told by our betters, by Rahu, we are told by our philosophical brothers, quote unquote, brethren, that this event happened, which it most likely did. But we are told that it happened remotely by a professional crews, whereas we've never experienced it ourselves down here in Gemini. Yeah, pause for a moment. So again, on this day, you have the moon is in Taurus, and the part of fortune, which was in the previous slide at the dawn, it was conjunct the moon. Now that the ascendant moved to Mercury, the part of fortune drifts away, but it's still in Taurus, so it stays close to the moon. Again, people who know this work with the energy. People who don't, let the energy happen to them. Venus, for instance. Venus here in Capricorn. Venus in Capricorn. As a nakshatra, you can see better. Venus is in Shravana. Shravana. Now, Shravana nakshatra is a Ketu, Venus, Sun, Moon nakshatra. So it's a Moon nakshatra connected to the third house of venturing, of Gemini qualities, but in a Taurus sign into the earth. But it's also connected to to listening. This is the sign of the nakshatra of listening, of opening your ears. And this emergency we saw emotionally here, we saw as a listening emergency. This was not a visual emergency. This was a listening, an audio emergency. And we were told everything. We were never shown anything. So here in the sign of Capricorn, Saturn is also retrograde at this time, also in a moon nakshatra. Again, here's where it begins: Ketu, Venus, Sun, Moon. Another moon nakshatra. One moon nakshatra, two moon nakshatra, three moon nakshatra, with the part of fortune here. So discipline was under emergency situation where we have to do something for for our emergency, for our immediate well-being. Hasta is action with the hands because it's in Virgo, which is the sign of uh, of of um, of not because I know it as the seed joining with the soil to create something new. Hasta means this is something that we have to be hands-on with. It's not that you're working with hands yet, but we have to work hands-on it. Um, as if we have to pay attention to this. That's what Hasta is showing. And Venus in Shravana is the nakshatra of Vishnu, and Vishnu is the opposite of Shiva, where Shiva is the secret, is the shining secret inside of us venturing out. Vishnu is the venture shining within us, where we listen for it. It's the opposite direction of Shiva, and it goes right into our knowledge because it's VSHN. It's the venture, shown, shining, going up into our knowledge, into our noggin, as you say. So that's the connection here, where and Venus is all about what you want to is what you want to accept in life, because you want that to like you back, because you want it to grow. It's all about wanting things to grow. What you want to grow. That's what Venus is about. And and Saturn here is in the seventh house, which is the house of Venus, where this emergency, they want it to grow. They want it to grow. And where's it going to grow? Not in visual, not in our immediate circumstances, but in the water, slowly and invisibly. Okay, checking on time. All right, so now in the going back to the Greenwich Mean Time, at sunrise, okay, sunrise, the ascendant was in Virgo in the Earth, and let me just pause for 1 second. Okay, at dawn for Japan was 21:01 in normal time, which was 9 o'clock. So here they have mutable Earth, but you can see it better here in nakshatras. The ascendant was in Chitra. Chitra is opposite of the beginning of the nakshatras. It's the middle of it, where you are coming here and you are saying who you are. Here, you have to fight for who you are, and so they create conflict from this meridian, this vantage point. They are creating a conflict because they don't fight. They have us fight. They create a conflict so that the water, I'm sorry, the mutable earth element can become a law they can push right here. And look at this, another triangle pointing to Ketu this time, which is uninvolvement, not caring about the earth, not caring about the earth. Whereas we are told to care for the earth in philosophical ways. So I'm going to end it here for now, and I'll continue in the next video.